Greetings world, it is hot today, about probably close to 40 degrees or hotter, and just inside the car with the AC on. I just got back home and a message came to me I wanted to share with everyone, and the message is about what a liberating feeling it is when you no longer judge yourself for what you look like, when you become completely comfortable in your own skin. And no matter what anybody says, or no matter what anybody else looks like in the media or movies or anything you see around you, you're never going to compare your appearance to anything in the external world anymore. Because you've come to realize that this body, however it looks, is your holy vessel, your temporary vessel that has been given to you for this temporary spiritual journey. Depending on our karmas and whatever divine mission we had in this life is how our body is created for that. So whatever our destiny is, what we're meant to do, the universe or God gives us a body that is best suited for that, for whatever lessons we need to go through or whatever we need to learn as a soul in order to continue to evolve. We're given the right vessel to do that. So sometimes it may be a vessel that is more attractive in appearance, and usually that's probably because of good karmas that were done. And then sometimes it works in the opposite favor of yourself, because if you do good karmas, you're given an attractive body, and then you take it for granted in this life, and then you fall into another cycle of reincarnation again in your next life because you took this life for granted. There's a story about that in Indian scripture that came to my mind, about how the continuous cycles of people do good deeds, then they land an attractive body, and then they have an ego because of their physical appearance that becomes attractive, and then they take that life for granted and fall back into negative karmic cycles again. So the point is, just whatever vessel you're in, there's a reason for that. And you have to make the best of it and realize that life goes by fast. In the blink of an eye, your life will be have gone by in front of your eyes, and you'll be looking back wondering, where did the last 20 years go, right? That's how fast time goes by. And before you know it, you're an old man and you're looking in the mirror and all your hair is turned white. That's happening to me now. Almost more hair when I look in the mirror is white than black. So it's going to happen to all of us. And the point is just knowing that this is a temporary phase, a temporary vessel, our physical body that we have, and we should be grateful for it, no matter what it looks like. If we get any thoughts in our mind telling us that our body doesn't look good enough, or it's not as attractive as someone else, or whatever, it's all lies. It's all deception. Don't listen to your mind if you ever get any of these kind of thoughts. Whenever you look into the mirror, you want to look with eyes of compassion, forgiveness, and love for yourself and for your physical body. Because another thing is, if you think anything negative about your own physical body, you're going to bring illness and negative situations, or anxiety or bad feelings that you're giving yourself, because you're sending that out to yourself, right? So you never want to be thinking anything bad or negative about your own vessel, your own physical body you're in, because our reality, our future, is created by our thoughts and our beliefs. So we never want to think anything negative about ourselves. And even if something happened to you sometime in your life and you're talking to somebody, I would suggest never telling a story that is going to devalue yourself in front of yourself and others. So if there's anything that ever happened throughout your life that you're ashamed of or you don't feel good about, makes you feel bad, then don't be sharing that with other people. There's no reason to bring that up again, right? You should always just be thinking about what is going to help you feel good about yourself, move forwards, evolve, and contribute to the divine plan of everybody else around you at the same time. We all made mistakes. We all did things we're ashamed of. We just let it go and move forwards. We don't need to go back to those ever again, right? It's just all a learning process. So whatever vessel we're in, let us think and show gratitude and show love towards ourselves. And especially teenagers, I know, especially, I guess, mostly teenage girls, they can fall into those unhealthy situations where they're trying to look different than the way they already look, or they're judging themselves compared to movie stars or pop singers or whatever, or their boobs aren't big enough or this or that. And it's totally all false, right? Because sure, we need to fit in, and when we're young, it's an important part of our reality to fit in with the social crowd and have people like us and feel wanted. Because I went through all of it, I know as well. Nobody likes to be the outcast and not feel connected with everyone else who's having fun and enjoying themselves at the parties or the social get-togethers. But you have to realize you're still a soul going through. You're still in a vessel, your body, regardless if you're a teenager, a kid, or an old man. It's still all part of the same journey, and you should still never fall into that trap. And as a parent who's aware and understands this, you can share this with your kids as they start to grow up, to love yourself and never believe any thoughts that are going to make you feel less about yourself, because they're false, they're not real, they're not true, and life is filled with it. So many people, they get so many of these false thoughts, and a lot of it comes from your own friends who tell you this and that, and because you don't know when you're younger, you believe it. Somebody tells you you don't look good, or you're not pretty, or this or that, or you're not attractive to the opposite sex, then if you don't know any better, you start to believe it. And then when you're alone, you have all these beliefs circulating in your mind that are false, that are not true, but you believe it, and then you become completely poisoned by this. Because I went through this myself. I know this 100% very well. But I learned through Eckhart Tolle and Don Miguel, Angel Ruse, and a bunch of different books, as well as my own path and sat mat and meditation, that all of these beliefs are completely false. And what we truly are is awareness, pure consciousness, inside this body as a temporary vessel until we leave and we go back into another body, or we go up higher and evolve more into higher vibration, higher spiritual realms. So it's our choice, depending on what means the most to us in this life, what's going to happen when we die. Are we attached to this world? Do we want to come back here and still experience more of the world? If that's what we want, then most likely that's what we'll get. We can have. We get to kind of decide what happens by what we're connected and attached to when we leave. Or do we feel that we've experienced this world enough and we want to go on to a different kind of reality, one that has no more physical density to it, one that is more lighter and harmonious and connected to the higher source of the ocean of consciousness? So the main lesson for this is all about loving our vessel, our physical body. And no matter what anybody else says, no matter what we see out in this external reality, which is all just a dream, which is all just a form of a hologram, this external reality around us, it's like the saying that says, all gold isn't real gold. Like, some gold is just fool's gold. That we shouldn't be chasing after a reality that isn't intrinsically real and doesn't have intrinsic value, which is external Maya, right? The true value is your actions and your meditations and devotion to spirit inside you, because those are what's going to carry once you leave this physical body to a different existence. And this isn't just me sharing my story. This is what's been written in countless spiritual literature and texts and holy books by Buddha and other Buddhist sattvas and the Jains and Sikhism, and there's so many of these scriptures that all saying the same kind of thing, right? So remember, the main lesson here is remember to love your vessel that you're in, and whenever you look into the mirror, don't think anything negative about the person you see in the mirror. Just completely accept yourself for what you are. And if any kind of negative, judgmental thoughts come up, immediately just block them or let them pass. Don't attach to them at all, and realize that's not you. When these thoughts come, it means that your mind needs to be healed and trained better. And so you let these thoughts just pass through, or just don't even let them come in at all. Just become very aware and realize when they come that they're toxic. They're no good for you. You don't need them in your reality. Any kind of judgmental thoughts upon yourself. So let them go, just like the wind comes and passes. That's the way any of these negative thoughts should be. They come and they go, and they have no grounding. They have no importance. They're not welcome in your space. They're not welcome in your reality of love and compassion for yourself and others. Thank you for tuning in. Namaste.